So we can get started. Good evening, guys. Welcome to this Zoho Meet. We're just here to educate ourselves about music, and we're just passionate about music. So today we'll be talking about music business stats and distributions. And mostly we'll dwell on distribution. And to take us through that is Ife Ajagbe. And she is an on-air personality. She's an and she's head of operations at Symphonic Distributions in West Africa. And we're so excited to have her today. So welcome, Ife. It is so good to have you today.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Right now, I think we'll just jump right into it. And of course, my first question for today, my very first question, and I know everybody wants to know this, for those who are not familiar with distribution, would be, what is music distribution in today's digital age?
Okay, that's exactly what we're going to be talking about. Okay, so this particular presentation is basically saying music business starts with distribution. And I will try to summarize this as much as possible. I'll probably share this slides with whoever attends afterwards so that we can have enough time for more conversations. Now, in case you're wondering why you should distribute your music, I'm not even going to judge you if you've never considered distributing your music ever. Because, I mean, it's pretty new age anyway, at least for this region. So if you choose to start with uploading your song for free on music blogs, your song can be stolen. And I feel like this is like the calmest I've ever been talking about this. It annoys me. So now the thing is this: if you say you don't want to distribute your music first, and then I don't know how it operates in Kenya, if you guys have like music blogs that upload music for free where people can download and listen. So if you decide that you want to go for music blogs, you have finished recording your song, you've invested in, production and everything, and then you hand it over to blogs and you pay them to upload the songs for free. Now, after that, most artists, what they do is the next step is they go to radio for promotion. They go to TV, they go do, in fact, sometimes music videos, every form of advertising to start promoting that song that they uploaded for free on a blog. This is what happens, or this is what can happen, which happens a number of times, is the fact that somebody that knows, that has the knowledge of digital music distribution, but is a thief, goes to that blog, downloads your song for free, and then distributes the song. So while you are busy promoting your song, there's somebody reaping the benefits of your labor because you did not set yourself up to reap the benefits. And you start wondering what's going on. As the song gets bigger, that person keeps raking in money, and they don't even need to shout because you left it for free. So that means your song has successfully been stolen, and you absolutely wasted money on promotion. Which leads us to the second point. If you choose to kick off promotion immediately, it will be an almost colossal waste of money. So sometimes maybe the song did not succeed because the song has to succeed for somebody to be interested in actually stealing it. So let's assume that the song does not succeed and nobody really steals your song. But anyway, you still wasted money because you did not distribute the song. And in case you're wondering why this guy's face is here, apart from the fact that, his expression just fits how I feel whenever I see this happen with independent artists, is the fact that I would use Ashake as an example. He released music before he joined Empire or YBNL. Now that is with Empire and YBNL, I do not think that he's making 100% of his income because there are other investors. So let's assume that he's able to make, say, like a 50% of whatever he earns right now. Guess what? The amount of promotion and work that Empire and YBNL are putting into his craft would have ripple effects on songs that he had previously released and distributed on his own. So that means he could actually be raking in a lot of money from those songs. And if he has not signed them off to anyone, he could be making 100% on those particular songs. That's why we say, even if it doesn't look like you're going anywhere yet, you're just starting, please distribute your song. It's important. Yeah.
Right.
So there's a
And
question why Symphonic is the right
mm,
choice for you to use it. Sorry, I just used my pictures because I was feeling vain. That's why. So, and now the first thing, the main thing that we do, we're a distribution, digital music distribution service. So we distribute your music. And I don't know anyone else in the market that gets your song to 200 plus streaming sites all over the world. So what that does for you is that no matter where anybody is, they know of you or your music and they want to consume your music, they can actually find an app where they can consume your music. That's what it means. So
mm,
somebody could be in Kazakhstan, there's maybe a particular streaming service being used there that is popular. They can find your music in different parts of the world. That's the advantage of distributing your music to as many streaming sites as possible. So, and then we've seen situations where record label owners or creators, we consider that musicians are creators, have thought that, oh, when I make money from this song, the fact that, there's a contributor like a composer, a songwriter, a producer that also need to get royalties from earnings of that song every month, they then have to withdraw money and then decide on who to give what check per month. But guess what? We already have that sorted. It's called split share. So we take the stress of paying other collaborators on your song off you with this particular tool. In fact, sometimes you can decide that it is your child or your grandchild that you want to benefit from the proceeds of a particular song because you think he would do so well or because he's doing so well. Not a problem. You just need to send an email invite to that person. We would handle the split. So you automate it, instruct us on what percentage is going to who, and we will get that sorted for you. It takes a lot of accounting, heavy lifting off artists, especially independent artists and record labels. Then for our customer care, I am not a customer care rep, but I respond to messages at 2 a.m. But then for the people on the for people on the technical team, they respond as quickly as possible. As in, I don't think anybody beats us. The worst that could happen is you send a message at that point in time, you get an auto response, then you get an actual response to the person in charge of the problem that you are actually saying that you have. And we would sort out your issue or guide you on how to go about it. So we actually do care about responding quickly. Now, this one is important because artists usually have the challenge of wanting to change distros. So for instance, there's a distribution service you're using and you feel they are not serving you well and you want to move to another distribution service. But what usually gets to happen is you need the exact metadata that you used to upload those songs or that album day one. So even if it was 20 years ago, you need exact artwork. You need exact everything to be able to move the data successfully. If there's any slight change, it will not move. And this kind of job is something that record labels hire people to do. So that means they could have to get somebody on a desk, put the person on a monthly salary, and say, please just be uploading and moving metadata. But we already have a tool that does that automatically. It's so simple that it's just like you're moving a file from your hard drive to them. So, and all of the actual metadata would move. The only thing you then need to do is upload the audio file, but every other thing will be so accurate that it makes transfer quite easy. And this is available to, it's not like, oh, you're on a particular plan, so you can't access it. No, it's available to everybody on all the plans, the 2 plans that we have. That's talking about transfer track. Then playlisting. Playlisting is, I'm trying to run through this so that we can have time for questions. Playlisting is a sore spot for a lot of artists. And a lot of artists, I don't know how that happened, but believe that if they don't have playlisting, streaming cannot be a successful thing for them. I don't know how that happened. So now, there's a part of that that is valid. There's a part of it that is not valid. Because I would say whatever you want to get, don't be desperate. There's always an organic way to get it. Now, this particular service is available for one of our plans, which is the partner plan, which is for record labels artist managers, A&R professionals who want to distribute for multiple artists. So those are the people that we actually pitch to editorial playlist curators on their behalf. Now, the way that works, we have designed something called marketing drivers. Now, I'm going to be quoting a user. As a user, some people are on this training, and they were also at that forum when he said it, that he has used like 7 distros, and it's only Symphonic that he knows that has marketing drivers. So what we have done is design questions that if you answer these questions properly, we would have a situation where you have armed us with enough information to pitch to editorial playlist curators on your behalf. So we want information like, where have you performed the song? Do you have plans for a radio tour? What radio stations have confirmed the radio tour? What are your marketing plans? Do you have like short videos that you've done that you want to use to promote the song on TikTok? Have you started promotion already on TikTok? You know, a lot of things like that. Now, if for instance, you mention the number of people that you ever performed this song to, or you tell us what the plans are, and the editorial playlist curators look at it and say, oh, wow, that's good. They will be interested in actually putting your song on their playlist. Now, I keep saying editorial playlist curators because they are the official playlist of streaming sites like Spotify, Apple Music, and all. So it means that we don't incentivize them. It is their decision to actually put your song up. What we do with the marketing drivers is give you a chance to actually sell yourself. That being said, if you want us to pitch your song to playlist curators, you cannot be in a hurry. So you cannot say, I want to release my song now. No. The least time is 4 to 6 weeks for a song that you want us to pitch. It requires time. And remember, you're not the only one in the pool. So it means that there are a lot of people that want some level of playlisting. So you need to give us ample time to be able to, pitch your music. But of course, if you want an immediate release, then you skip this, and that's fine. Then let's quickly move on to other points. Yes, we do have. So this is basically CSR. We have a radio show called Hot Sounds, syndicated on 4 radio stations in Nigeria and 1 in Sierra Leone. Some of you already know about it. It's hosted by Edna Joseph, and basically it's just to give artists a bigger voice, an opportunity for airplay and some level of promotion. In this case, we say, send us the Spotify link of your song. Guess what, feeling? That's when people will ask me, how about Audio Mac? At that point, I already know that you have not distributed your song. That's why you don't have your song on Spotify. So we'll get to that. Now, for the starter plan, which is one of our plans, this one is actually for indie artists. I would like to earn 100% of what they make on distribution. So you just pay a yearly subscription of $19.99 per year and release as many songs as you want in that time. And that's it, basically. So for us at Symphonic, we're actually big on artist welfare. And I think it's also because our CEO is, a DJ, is a music producer. He's been that since I was 16. And he has had over 45 vinyl records to his name. And his for music and fellow artists led him to actually start up Symphonic in 2006. So that's how long the company has been on, since 2006. We've expanded greatly. Active presence in the US, Dominican Republic, Colombia, Brazil, of course, in Africa, and most recently, Asia. So we do care about music artists because, we know what's going on. I would always say that for an artist that is starting out and you really just don't know what to do, you are a little confused, you could actually visit symphonic.com and check the blogs section. We're really big on education. Everything is more like you have the artist starter pack on our website, so you could actually check it out. Now, it is important to us, you as an artist succeed. Remember I said that we have the starter plan and the partner plan. Now, for the starter plan, it is for an independent artist and it's subscription based. For the partner plan, it is a record label, but there are percentage splits. it means is that if you don't earn, we don't earn. So we're invested. We try to do distro, but we try to do everything possible to set you up for, greatness, as the case may be, because we need you to actually succeed. We could have put a subscription on that plan, but then we tied our fates to yours. So now, these are the things that you can do to help us help you. Give us ample time to pitch your music to editorial playlist curators. If you are wondering why Davido or Wizkid or Alikiba or Sauti Sol have their faces on Times Square, it's because DSPs know, that is tribute, they know in advance when their songs will be out. Like they probably know the song that what's this Tanzanian artist now? It's going to release in the next 6 months.
Diamond.
What did you say?
I was saying the Tanzanian artist, is it Diamond you're asking about?
Yes, Diamond. Even though he still has a hot single, I'm sure the song is going to release in the next 6 months. It's already been worked on and promoted. So you need to make that kind of planning, like start thinking. I know you might be an indie artist, but start thinking like a business. So give us ample time to pitch your music to editorial playlist curators. Now, I also said you should fill marketing drivers with as much information as possible. Okay, I got this example from Mexico. They were like, oh, it's their first Resorte album in more than 20 years. They have plans for PR and radio campaign. There'll be a media tour in Mexico. They've confirmed. And all of the tours that they're going to have, upcoming shows throughout Mexico, including Foro del Lago, Foro Chains, Orion Metal Fest, and all of the shows that they plan on going to. Whether they will go to those shows or not, I don't know. Now, official music video for focus track, the focus tracks on the album, publishing episodes, they listed exactly what it was that they were going to do. And I know that there are artists in Africa that do bigger than this. So give us the information. That's what we're saying. That's really what we're canvassing for. Now, I always say you have a community. Collaborate with your community in promoting your music. Use your community, no matter how small it is. I don't know whether it is you're in some association, whether you are a choir member in church, whether you're whatever it is. If there's a community of people around you, you're in one form of association or the other, or even if it's a WhatsApp group. I mean, WhatsApp groups have to be useful to you. So, collaborate with people in that community. In case you're wondering, what will I use these people for? I will tell you. Now, point 4 is use TikTok to increase your streams and visibility. You know what? I was thinking about this. I've been toying with this idea for a while. Then pretty recently, I actually then stumbled on a guy. I don't know him. He's just some random guy on TikTok that said exactly the same thing I was saying. You know how that feels like, oh, thank goodness, I'm not the only one thinking like this. I can't be crazy. So this is what I'll play this video for you to listen to the guy. And then I'll show you what actually both of us mean by what we're saying.
Okay.
Watch this.
You don't need to pay anyone to promote your music. If you're an artist and you're struggling how to promote your music, just make reels. Make so many reels. Put a target. Make 500 reels of the same song. Do 500 of them. That's the easiest way you can promote your music on social media. It's free. You don't have to pay for a Spotify playlisting, Boomplay playlisting, or YouTube ads, wherever. We're not doing that anymore. Just make reels. Make a lot of reels. Post them on TikTok. Post them on Instagram. And wait for the magic to happen.
Okay, so he said you should post reels, 500 reels of the same song. Of course, naturally, in the comment section, artists were arguing with him that, oh, it won't work and all of that. Now, this is what I think you should do. I think you should listen to him. You can, let's assume that there's a song you want to release. So this is me just giving you step-by-step promotion strategy for a song. I'll summarize it. So you have a single coming. You have decided that you want that single to be released, say, in the next 2 months. And then you go to symphonic.com, you upload this song for release and tell us, release this song in the next 2 months. Assuming that you are on the partner plan, you fill your marketing drivers immediately and say all of the things that you plan on doing for the song. Now, create a pre-save link and keep it. Just keep it first. Then go and look for somebody that actually knows, that is decent with video production. I mean, has a camera, can shoot a decent video and edit a decent short form content for you. Not with a telephone. If the person is good with telephones, that's fine. But get a good video, because the thing about TikTok is if the video quality and the sound are good, people will stop to check out your content. They might then watch and not like it afterwards, but at least they will stop. It will make them, stop to say, what is this person about to say? Or what is this person saying? So that's why it's important that you get quality. So let's say you have finally gotten somebody, a video guy. You guys can rent a studio, decide on what background you want, or the video guy can advise you accordingly. Get about, say, I don't know, 20 outfits. They don't have to be new outfits that you already had, just different outfits or different t-shirts or whatever. And go there and pick like 30 or 40 seconds of your song, the part that people are going to be able to access from TikTok. So pick that part of your song and perform it in those 20 different outfits. I'll get the video guy to edit, and then you can then decide how you want to schedule posting the content. You can post one, see how it does. If you're still doing very well for another 3 to 4 days, you can wait another week before you post the next one. If you feel like the engagement has reduced, then you can decide that, okay, maybe I post another one. So you can decide whether you want to post it weekly or bi-monthly or once in a month, as the case may be, depending on how the video is doing. Now, if the video quality and the audio quality are good, there's a chance that it will travel far. Now, TikTok is one of the places where there's still amazing organic growth. I mean, you are going to get responses and feedback from different countries of the world, random countries, the most random places. People would send you messages and say, I like your music. Now, if your music then happens to be amazing, you see all of these things, they are factors. So if your music then happens to be amazing, you would create a fan base. And guess what? TikTok is also considered a streaming site. So it means that your activity on that platform is not a waste. You would see, the benefits of it. And TikTok is such that the algorithm is trained to, push content to more people, especially when there are people responding to it. So you profile the kind of people that are responding to your content. So in case you are wondering if this stuff is plenty, what exactly are we supposed to do? I would use an example of some videos. And I'm picking these videos. Some of these artists are actually big, but I'm picking these videos because I did not know them facially before finding them online. I just go down, crazy child. You're so ambitious, hard. You than I, but if you're so smart and tough, why are you still so afraid? Ways and trying wants to hurt me about. Better put it on before you burn it out. Got so much and only so many hours in a day. But you know that when the truth is told, that you can get what you want, or you can just get what you want. Get caught before you even get halfway through. Oh, baby, be alive, and I'll wait for you. Okay, so for her, I've never seen her before. I still don't know her. And I just stumbled on her music on TikTok, and I thought she was amazing.
Yeah, she sounds great.
See, like, we don't know, I don't know, like, I could just, wake up tomorrow and say, I remember this girl, I want to play a song on radio or something like that. I really don't know her. Now, there's also this guy. I didn't know him from anywhere. Stay. I want you, I need you, oh God. Stay. It's beautiful things that I've got. Please stay. I want you, I need you, oh God. Stay. It's beautiful things that I've got. Okay. Sorry about that. Basically, that's the
Yeah.
point. You
Mm.
actually stand out even on a very lean budget. That's what I'm
Mm.
saying. So I think that you can borrow a leaf from these people. So you
Yeah.
can contact us on this particular socials that you're seeing on the screen. That is my telephone number. But please, if you're reaching out, please don't just say hi. Just say, hello, this is why I'm reaching out. This is what I need you to do for me. That would be
Uh,
nice.
I
So that
love that. I love that you shared your contacts because I know people might have follow-up questions later on, and then they may want a way to contact you directly.
yes. So that's it, Feeling. Thank you.
Right. So that was very insightful. I like that. No, my lighting is really bad. That's why I'm trying not to put my video, but forgive me for that.
That's
But
fine.
I hope my audio is fine though.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Right. So if anyone has questions, you can just put them in the chat section. We're gonna check them out, and then we get to them. Ife is gonna help us with those particular questions. But I think right now my question would be, right? Can you guys hear me?
Yes. Yes. Wait, we can hear you.
Oh, right. Right. So my question right now would be like, okay, for you, based on your experience, before we get more questions, would be like, what is the one mistake that you have observed with all the artists, especially when they're starting out? What is that one mistake you've observed with many artists and that you'll just wish they did things differently?
Well, it is distribution. So I will be real with you, Feline. It's one of the reasons I'm on this job. So for me, it's first of all, I'm a broadcaster. So I just kept having people that will come to me and say, play our song on radio. And then I say, when we play your song on radio and people like your song, can they find it again anywhere else? So I say, no, like I've not distributed. And I'm like, please. So I then became that person that people started coming to say, if they okay, so if you insist that we should distribute our music, which distro should we use? Yeah. So for a very long time, I kept having that kind of conversation with artists. Like you can't kick off promotion before making the product available. It's like a soda company goes to TV advertising, which is not cheap, and then I'm sold. I decide that I want the soda. I then go to the nearest store in my area and I cannot find it. A total waste of money. So that's like, I think that's like the first biggest mistake that I noticed that artists make with regards to their music. Then, of course, second would be branding.
Branding. So a lot of artists don't invest in themselves in terms of yeah.
No, I mean, like you check some people's Spotify profile and they use the selfie as the picture. So, so like branding is one of those things that make you know that this artist is not very serious. And then you want playlists. So the playlist curators look at your profile and they're like, there's a way you just know, even if an artist doesn't have a lot of followers and his music is good, and then you check his profile, you know that this artist is going somewhere. This artist is somebody that is moving, that is actually doing something about their brand. But you use an artwork or I don't know, a selfie as your profile picture, they just know that. And guess what? Even before now that everything is digital and all of that, you know how, I don't know if you ever had time when like they'll bring CDs to you in the studio and all of that. So now, so now on the CD, the picture sometimes too is like, hey, you people do not do photo shoots before going to print. Before going to print on this CD, like this needs to be looking so it is like you're hiding. So let's assume that you're really good and your song is amazing. So it's like you're hiding gold in a refuse dump. How do we want to find it? So it means that at the end of the day, we're going to literally throw it away. Like, oh, yes, your music is amazing. Oh, nobody bothered to listen. But you haven't positioned it in a way that people will bother. It's a huge crowd. Like almost everywhere you turn now, you must have a family member that is singing. Like there are so many artists. So what makes you stand out?
And also, I feel like people need to find their identity, and I feel like that's also very hard because you want to pose like the biggest artist, you know. You want to sound like them, so sometimes I feel like that also can be hard because when we hear you, we feel like we are hearing someone else. So yeah, right. But my question about distribution would be also is there a guarantee for placement on the Spotify playlist if an artist applies through Symphonic? When I'm working with Symphonic, is there a guarantee that my songs I qualify for Spotify playlists for playlisting?
No. Anybody that guarantees you playlisting, run. 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 So playlisting is never ever guaranteed. You know, like I said, it's more like we're giving you a chance in a crowd, but then the people that actually make the decision end up making the decision. We just help you appeal to them. So there are no guarantees. The guarantee that is there is if you're on our partner plan, we would pitch on your behalf. You get, and then of course we've designed questions that would, if you provide us with good answers to those questions, sometimes even the biggest A-list artists don't get playlisted on top playlists. Sometimes it happens that way, and sometimes some random just starting artist gets placements. Even we were wild. We're like, whoa, that's good. You get, so it's not it's not an assured thing. We just try to make you have a better chance, but no, it's not. Also, I need to warn about playlisting because playlisting has put a lot of artists in trouble. So there are different websites that people go to actually also pitch their songs to individual playlist curators. So some playlists are not legit playlists. They buy fake streams, you know, to spike their numbers and all of that. Now, if you get out of desperation, if you get yourself on such playlists, what can then happen? This is the way it works. The streaming sites where your song is and where they are noticing illegal activity would notify us to say, this artist, your client, distributed a song to us and they are buying streams or the playlist is on a fake playlist and whatever, there's fraud. We consider it as fraud. Fraud is happening. The moment they tell us that, we would have no choice but to take down the song from that streaming site. Remember, we're the ones that carried it from you to them. So we have to take it down from them. Now, because we don't want the other ones, the other streaming sites, remember I said there are 200 plus streaming sites. We don't want them to come and meet us and tell us that you also have a bad activity there. So we are going to take down your song from all of those other places.
Right. Has that ever resulted in a lawsuit?
No, it hasn't. Because some of the artists know what they did. So yeah, they know. So at the end of it doesn't end there. In fact, in some cases, we will not tell you politely that please don't work with us again. Because it's
take their business elsewhere.
What did you say?
I'm saying you'll tell them to take their business elsewhere.
Please don't put us in trouble because we don't want to be that show that always distributes music that, you know, gets engaged in illegal activity. So all of these things, there are legal sides to it. It's a relationship that we don't want to destroy. So definitely we say artists need to be careful. Music fraud is something that distribution services are working hard to fight. So you shouldn't get involved in it at all. It's important.
Right. I hope your question has been answered. And we have another question right here. How can one partner with Symphonic?
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you okay? So there are two ways. Are you talking about the partner plan? So for the partner plan, you need to be distributing for multiple artists, or at least have a registered business. So I usually say, let's say I am the artist, for instance, Ife, and I want to distribute music under the partner plan. The account will then be under my business, my registered business name, not under Ife Ajagbe, so that I can distribute for Ife Ajagbe and other people. Remember that I said that the partner plan can distribute for as many artists as possible.
It's actually a longer question that they asked how they can partner with Symphonic, and secondly, apart from the first plan, that one has to pay $20. Which other plans do you have?
Okay, so there's a starter plan which is $19.99, and whenever there are holidays, there are discount codes all over the place. Like you can get a 25% discount off during holidays. But anyway, it's $19.99 for the starter plan. For the partner plan, it's not a paid plan, it's contract based. It's based on percentage splits. Usually your company will be getting 85% of royalties on distribution, mechanicals, UGC monetization, and then Symphonic will be getting 15% of that royalty. So for that, you can distribute for multiple people, and it's on such accounts that we actually pitch to editorial playlist curators. So to get it, you can just send me a message and I will let you know if you're ready for it. Because what is also possible is that you can start off with the starter plan and accounts can be upgraded. So over time, if you feel like, oh, I'm ready for the partner plan, or I want to distribute for more people than just myself, then you can upgrade to the partner plan. But reach out to me, so I'll let you know. We can have a conversation and I'll let you know which you are ready for per time.
Awesome. What other promotions does Symphonic offer other than playlisting and radio airplays?
Okay, so for Symphonic, we try to emphasize the fact that we're primarily a digital music distribution service, not we don't position as a promotion company. However, for record labels, we do have some a la carte services that can be provided on request, like printing vinyls, music video distribution, and stuff like that, which are on a different kind of budget. But usually, if you want those extra services, you just go to our website and see if it's something you want to, are willing to pay for. But it's not, that's not our core offering. It's not something that we, put out there and say, oh, come to us, we'll promote the music for you.
Oh, awesome. And I also needed to ask if what was the question? If Symphonic is open to distribute for independent artists through the starter plan, or it applies to record labels, to record labels.
I'm not sure I got the question.
I'm asking if you are open to distribute. Do you distribute for indie artists? Like if I'm an individual artist, can I distribute with you, or do I need to get a middle? Is that a middleman? What are they called? Like a distributor to work with.
Oh, I get you now. Yes, that's why the starter plan. So the starter plan is for independent artists.
So if I want to, I can distribute as an artist. I can distribute for myself without having to go through someone else.
No, you don't. No, you don't have to. Even for the people that handle the partner plan, sometimes they're not on record labels. Sometimes it's just maybe like a group of artists came together. Sometimes they have a management company or something, and so some people just distribute for. So sometimes even on the partner plan, one person can be distributing for multiple artists. Those multiple artists can be independent artists. So it's really not. You don't have to be on the record label to be able to distribute your music. No.
Right. And when we're doing that, I feel like maybe having worked here for a while, there are some challenges that come with it. Have you seen any, and how do they go about that? Maybe I've never distributed my music. It's something new to me, and I'm trying to put my music there. What are some of the challenges you've seen artists encounter? And while maybe some from here will go try that, how do they go about it?
Okay. I think one of the things that I think artists have shown is it still goes back to the branding thing. They are not, artists just choose their names anyhow. I don't know. I really don't know what goes into the process of, maybe there's a, if it's for a proper brand, for instance, there'll probably be a meeting where there'll be brand specialists that'll decide what the name of a product should be and all of that. But I know for artists, like, they pick their nickname along the line, or maybe it's just a name somebody has been calling them since secondary school for whatever interesting reason and all of that. But by the time you want to start distributing music, I think you should do yourself a favor. Go to streaming sites and search that name that you want to use and see people that are probably already using the name. And see how active they are, their numbers and all of that. Because one of the biggest challenges that artists that are just starting distribution encounter is mapping issues. So there's somebody already bearing Ife Ajagbe on Spotify or streaming sites generally. And then you are going to read, because it's your name and you don't want to do anything about changing it, or you never did any research, you didn't even Google it. So you then go and release a song also under Ife Ajagbe. Guess what? Spotify already knew the previous Ife Ajagbe. The previous Ife Ajagbe already had a fan base. So they simply place your song amongst the songs of the former Ife Ajagbe. So, yeah, so you then have mapping issues, which is something that your distro can resolve for you. It can be resolved. I'm just saying. So you then, because at the end of the day, what then happens is that you then have your own separate profile with the same name, but you still have a different profile. But I would say it doesn't make business sense for you to be sharing a name with somebody else on a platform. You that are still struggling. So you guys will share audience. So I think that it's important that you actually check out the names before you choose them, so that you know whether you need to rebrand, or even if you want to stick with a particular name, or just do research about the names. I mean, just take Buju. Buju had Buju Banton is bigger, definitely, or we've known him for longer anyway. And he then was bearing Buju. Everybody was like, oh, which Buju? And he probably was losing money, because his fans will be a little confused as to who this is and all. Later, he changed his name to Benson. And then it then became Benson FKA, that is formerly known as Buju. So if you had such an issue, you can just do like an FKA and move and change your name appropriately. But it's important that before you start distribution, if it's your first time, do some research. Check whether people are the name you want to be.
Awesome. There's another question. Someone asked, what sets Symphonic apart from other distributors? I think they want to know, like, the market has other distribution companies, so why should they work with you?
Okay, so like I said earlier, we actually do care about artists. That's one thing. So it's influenced how we've designed our tools like Transfer Track. You're not going to find it anywhere else. And like I said, we distribute to the most streaming sites, and our pricing is as open as it gets. So you might get some distros that are like, oh, we're cheaper, but then there are hidden charges. There are things that we would give you for free that then they will tell you come and pay for. You get? So it's important that you actually check well before you sign up. Yeah. So and you don't say, oh, because you're on the startup plan and not the partner plan, we don't attend to you. That doesn't happen. Our customer care attends to every client equally. We don't, treat one client with professional treatment over the other. No.
Right. Okay, there's another question. His name is Armstrong. He's a Cameroonian artist currently in partner with Symphonic, but he's based in America, and he would like to know how would you recommend him? How would you recommend him to connect with the music industry in Africa without him being physically there?
Will I recommend him to connect with music?
Like, I think he's a Cameroonian, but he's based in America, and he wants to know how you can connect him to the African market without him physically coming to Africa.
So what he's asking is definitely not distro related. But what can happen is, if he hits me up, I can make recommendations depending on what it is that he needs in what region. So for instance, if it is that he needs an artist manager in Kenya, please reach out to Philin. She can know people that she works with, and she knows, oh, who is a reliable artist manager or a media plug. If it is in Nigeria, you can reach out to me. I will make recommendations and say, oh, reach out to this person and work with this person. This person is reliable. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Yes,
Right.
recommendations definitely can be made, but what he's asking is not, like the primary
Okay.
responsibility of Symphonic.
So Armstrong can reach out to Ken. Ken Olo is right here. He's part of the attendees and he does that. So you can reach out to him. Ken, you can connect to the Armstrong. I'm sure you guys, he's amazing. So you can talk and figure that out. If you want more help, of course, I'm more than willing to help wherever I can. But if I know there are some female artists that are right here. And one thing I wanted you to talk about is about the program you have, the Women Empowered. So you can talk to us briefly about that. Maybe some of our attendees might want to be a part of that.
Okay, Philin, that's not something that I'm so abreast of. It's more like a Janet thing. So it's something that Janet would have been able to give more information about as to whether, it is currently on and how people can actually get in on it and all of that. So I could probably get you more information on that, but it's not something that, we've not even really activated it in this region like that.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Right. So there's my mail. For Armstrong, my mail is right there. You can reach out. All right. I get that, but thank you so much. I just thought it's you told me it's still in the early stages, so we can do a follow-up. We can follow up later on to see where it's reached, and then maybe next year we can definitely be a part of that for the guys that are joining, and probably the women in the African market that would want to be a part of Women Empowered. And I know we have a few minutes to go, but I also want to know, do you have any success stories of artists that have benefited from Symphonic, especially artists that already have a name? Just for reference.
Actually, I think 90% of the artists on my slides are Symphonic artists. Yes. Right. So the way it works usually is there will be artists that have been with us for a while. There will be artists that move to us. I think Mikasa Music is like a recent one. Frank Edwards has always been with us. Moses Bliss. Like there've been a lot of artists that are quite successful that are with Symphony. They have catalogs with us. A lot of them. We've also worked with Johnny Drill. We've worked with a number of artists, actually.
Awesome. And I think one question I forgot to ask you is how you got started in the music business. Because I know, coming up, you are a journalist and you are a broadcaster, but then you are in the music business now. How did you get started? Because you're doing so well. Because Symphonic is actually one of those biggest companies. So tell us how you got started there. How did you find yourself where you are right now?
Okay. I would say frustration. I would say that, like what I was saying about my experience on radio and artists coming over, bringing the music and all, I sort of, I simply loved music and I really didn't mind playing your song just because you brought it to me, even if I don't know you. And people did bring music. But then, I work on radio and you're bringing me a song that is not radio edit. That means the song you're bringing has a lot of swear words, has a lot of, it probably is insulting some particular sect. So maybe you are an Islamic musician, you're insulting Christians. If you want to do your song, do your song. But I can't play it on radio because we have a regulator. And some of these things are rules that I know as a broadcaster. So if I'm able to host political shows successfully and not get in trouble, why would it be your song that would destroy my career? That kind of thing. So it used to be a lot of, back and forth. And then when you're trying to explain to artists have, like a preset mind about something. and they think that they know. So whatever it is you're saying, the artist just feels like you're just being, extra.
Yeah.
So it was quite frustrating. And then at some point, I then realized that, you know what, they probably don't know. That's why they keep doing this. So I then started to create content that would educate. I started listing, what the pain points were for me. Like, these are the things you should take care of when you're bringing your songs to radio and all of that. I started creating content about it, then I think it was something I just kept doing over the years. And I didn't even understand. I didn't know at that time that I was developing my A&R side. And then fast forward to later, I think the biggest problem then, when streaming became popular and all of that, the challenge then became people wanting to promote music without actually making it available. And then I thought, you know what, it looks like digital music distribution is the next thing. And for me, I'm super excited that with a brand that actually delivers on what it says it would do. And wherever it is, I feel like we need more. I simply just say, oh, hey, we need more. so that's it. So that's sort of like my journey into the music business part of it.
I love it. So I hope a lot of us are inspired. I am inspired. You just never know, We love seeing women in such leadership positions because like it's possible, it makes it possible. Especially for African artists, a lot of women are not where they're supposed to be. So when we see people like you, it's very quite inspirational. Right. And what would your advice be to artists that are just getting started? I know you talked about this a little bit when you spoke about putting their music on TikTok and creating so many reels. But what else would you tell artists who are just here and their music hasn't blown up yet?
I'll say keep showing up. And while you're showing up, you need to also develop a business mindset. So do you want 100% of $10 million, or do you want 10% of $1 billion? So
of course, $1 billion.
That's like $100 million. So do you want $10 million or $100 million? One seems like a smaller percentage, but then it's a lot of money. So yeah, so when you become you also need to think of yourself as a product, a brand. So when you actually are able to become that, people will be willing to invest in you. So one of the advantages of showing up is not just your streaming numbers. It is that people will notice you, and people that can actually afford to move you from point A to point Z would reach out to you and say, oh, I think you have something. But they need to see that you have something. So that means no matter how small or how, cost effective, just you need to appear put together. So it's more like a small business that wants a loan. All the bank is going to help you do is scale your business. They don't want to help you start your business. They want proof that the business has run successfully. So you need to think of yourself as a business. I mean, some people will say, oh, I registered for my account and is asking me for tax ID. Yes, for a serious business person, you need a tax ID. So you need to start thinking like a business, not just we're past that period when record labels just adopted artists like children. It doesn't happen like that again. So that's not usually the so you need to start thinking of yourself as a product and take your business seriously. Register a business name. It's not rocket science, I promise you. It's not difficult. If you try to, just get a lawyer, in your country and register a business. Get your tax ID. Excuse me. Get your tax ID.
Right.
The thing again is this: you need to be prepared. You want to be great, but you need to be prepared to accept that greatness. So that means that if, for instance, you are supposed to be earning, you want to be earning, millions of dollars do not get paid into local accounts without some level of conversion and charges. That means that it's not bad for you at your level to have a domiciliary account. it is, what are you preparing for? So you need to prepare yourself for whatever it is that you want, wherever it is you want to go to. Prepare yourself for it so that when it comes, it actually has a place to stay. That kind of thing. So that's what I think artists need to take care of.
Awesome. So I think we're gonna take one more question for today, and it is, how long does it take for your account on Symphonic to be activated upon registering on the platform?
For the starter plan, the same day, a few clicks, you make payments and your account is up. For the partner plan, it could take a 24-hour period. And now that's not necessarily on us. It is the fact that after you have been registered, the legal team will then send you a contract, which would happen in a few hours. Then you might want to decide when you want to decide to sign the contract. So when you sign it, we'll send you the login link, and then, so that can happen in 24 hours or as long as you let it take. So it doesn't take long.
Ah,
Yeah.
amazing.
Feeling, I'd like to say something about women in music.
Yeah.
Yes. Can I go ahead?
Oh, of course. Of course.
Yes. Okay. So I know that there's a sort of like narrative, and it is because of experiences, as an actual valid experiences that some people have had. There's a narrative about how it's really difficult for women in the business, in the music. Let me just focus on the music space. In the music space, it's difficult for women, female artists, and females in maybe artist managers, A&R professionals, and all of that. I would say that if you're a female and you're watching this, I don't think you should allow that narrative get to you. So can you just pick that narrative and put it aside, and then do your own. Just do whatever it is the heck you want to do. Whatever you want to do, just go ahead and do it. Now, there are valid, we're different. Like, I'm not a man. And the way my journey would go is not the same way a man's journey would go. So if I decided to be an artist, for instance, I better start early. Like, I better start in my teens so that I can, like maybe Ira Star, be 21 and be a superstar, that kind of thing. And later now, if Ira Star decides that she wants to retire at 30, it's fine. She has had a career in music. So, and then if, for instance, Rihanna literally is retired on us in the music space. It's literally retired. Yeah.
She's a businesswoman now.
Thank you. Like she has had a success in music and she has left it to those that are still doing it. And maybe does it once in a while just to honor whatever. But now she's focusing on whatever else she wants to focus on. She can decide that she wants to just be a mom 90% of the time. And it's totally fine. So our journeys differ from that of men. And there's not, except if maybe you choose and say, okay, you know what? I don't want to have kids. I don't want to have a family, That's also a choice, and you have a right to it. You can say that that's how you want to move. So, but don't allow that narrative or some other people's experiences actually cloud the beautiful experiences you can have in the music space. I know that, these are actual conversations, but if I am being fair, I'm in a society where conversations like this also happen, but I have not had anybody actually kick me out because I'm a woman. I've not, maybe I just ignored it, or maybe I just did not pay attention to it. That kind of thing. Like, I'm focused on where I'm going. I don't care what you think. And this is, so as long as you see the value that I'm bringing, for me, I'm not, and then the thing again is, as long as you do not come off as desperate, it becomes very difficult for anyone to take advantage of you. If they know that it is not a do or die affair, I go somewhere, I try to lobby for something, I don't get it, I step out, I go somewhere else. There's always somewhere else to go. So the moment they smell desperation, then all of the sexual harassment, all the kinds of harassment can then come out. But you see, when you're not desperate and you really don't give a hoot whether that thing that you want comes from that place or not, you just know that I want this thing. You have told the universe you want it. So you start going to the relevant people that can provide this thing for you, or the relevant places, or start showing up in the relevant places where these things can be provided for you. It might not come from where you thought it would come from. Don't hold on to that place. Say, oh, no, this is it. This is where I think, no. Just, be open, have an open mind. You would move faster, and all of these narratives would not even apply to you. Not because they don't happen, but because, you have just decided that, you know what, it doesn't matter. I will succeed, no matter what it is. So that's what I think that women need to pay attention to. That would help them actually fly, and not held back by anything, happening around them, or any narrative at all that could hold them back. So I just thought to put that out there.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your journey, your insights, your company, like all that wisdom. We appreciate it. Thank you so much for taking our questions and just taking your time to answer that. We appreciate you. And I hope we can do this other time. And maybe you can just share your contact one more time for the guys that are here and might want to get in touch with you. You might share your contact one more time. But for the guys that are here, we'll also have this video up on YouTube. Probably later on, we'll put it on our She Voice YouTube channel. So if you have any distribution questions, you can always go back to it, and you can always go back and refer to it. So that is Ife Ajagbe. Is it Ajagbe or Ajabe? Is it Ajagbe or Ajabe?
Ajagbe.
Oh, so Ife Ajagbe.
Yes.
So if you have any questions, feel free to get in touch with her and she'll answer more of your follow-up questions. But thank you so much, Ife, for taking time to talk to us. We appreciate you. And shout out to Symphonic Distribution. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for your time. And enjoy the rest of your day. Have a great evening.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone else, for joining as well. We appreciate you, and hopefully we'll do this again soon.